I always felt like my job was I'm in between office and the talent. But Punk would never let me assist, and he would then sometimes attack me. Like, you know, where there would be moments where we'd have a meeting and he'd come at me and I'd leave there thinking like, this little motherfucker. Punk didn't trust me, and I didn't trust Punk.
I had been on the road 365 days a year for 10 years straight. After a while, the wheels fell off.
Standing across the ring from somebody as great as you, belt around your waist, it dawned on me that I don't want to be world heavyweight champion. I need to be world heavyweight champion. I need to be world heavyweight champion like I need air in my lungs. I need to be world heavyweight champion like I need my heart to pump blood through my veins. I need to be world heavyweight champion like the Detroit Red Wings need a 12th Stanley Cup. I need to be world heavyweight champion like a Midwest dad needs a cold, frosty old style on a hot summer day while he's mowing the lawn. And no, I don't drink, and I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs, but I understand addiction because this place, wrestling is my addiction. I need to be world heavyweight champion so I can raise that strap above my head as a thank you to the millions of people who have chanted my name for over 10 years.
In 3, 2, 1, clap.
Huh?
Benoit balls.
I still think Kevin Sullivan did it.
I'm Aubrey Edwards. I'm not a wrestler.
Tony's quick sniffs of the week.
No, just my dickhead friends causing concussions and shit. All right, never mind.
Hey, how's barbecue sauce? So good, half the face don't work.
With Hogan that close up on the fucking camera reminds me of my racist uncle. I know you ain't listening, but you know who you are, you fucking racist.
Oh my God, for real, don't tell me that's his name. Oh, no way. I was kidding. I swear to God. It was just the first thing that came to my head. It was the first thing.
Welcome to the Top of Wrestling with your hosts ODM and the Professor.
Good Wrestling Day. Hey, welcome back to the Top of Wrestling podcast because it's Wednesday, it's 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we thank you for being here every week on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the X. And hey, I'm the Professor. He's ODM. We appreciate when you guys subscribe, like, share. Okay, all that social media bullshit out of the way. Hey, we're halfway through this season. What does that mean? I guess you'll find out in another 50 episodes, if we'll call it that. But today we got news, we got results, we got Bring It to the Table, we got reliving the Monday Night Wars, and we got a top topic. And, this is my favorite top topic, to be honest with you. I look back in history, and we did, like, top 25 matches at SummerSlam or things like that. But Today we're going to just be reliving all the best matches and moments in SummerSlam history. It's funny because I know ODM probably looked at the doc. He's like, 17 pages? What the fuck? But it was just, I did some thorough work. I'm not going to talk about every little thing. But ODM, how are you?
Fried, man. Baseball, I think, is officially over. We had a tournament this weekend, so we had an 8 a.m. game Friday, a doubleheader on Saturday, and an 8 a.m. game on Sunday after we had a Javi show the night before. So I'm just getting caught up back to what you would call normal life. And yes, after seeing the Top Topic notes, I've made the executive decision that I'm just going to get up and do some chores. I'll come back in an hour about when you're finishing up.
I'm going to have it wrapped up in 10.
Yeah, okay. At least you're not going to reread every script from Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's a good one. I only have one topic I'm talking about. SummerSlam. In 37 parts.
You beat me to it, asshole.
It's funny because, you did say Javi, and I want to say right now, Saturday night, I believe it was, yeah. I was just, I don't know, it was maybe like midnight, 1 a.m. I was up, I couldn't sleep. And you and Javi were tagged from other people's videos from Iron Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. It kills me because, and I don't mean this in any pat on my back way. I really, really, really don't. But Javi used to be like, yo, he used to call me Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark, man, I like watching you play. Remember, you guys saw me in Fairport, all those different shows, all that stuff. And he has surpassed me in so many fucking ways. And I saw his goddamn power stance.
Oh, dude, he's playing down at his ankles.
Yo, he really got, in heavy metal-ish for a bass player, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, watch them do Killing in the Name of. And I was like, oh, god damn. I'm like, if I was at this show, you'd have been mad at me because I would have been fucking just shoulder checking you each time.
Oh, I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it.
It's they phenomenal, man. Your boy's killing it. Their band is phenomenal. So I gotta come watch a show very soon. Like I said, I watch it and I go, Jesus Christ, like 10, 15 years ago, he's like, wow, that's a good song that you're doing with 3 chords there, dude. And now he's over here, I'm very, very shocked just to see their composure on stage. They're killing it.
Yep. Yeah. No, they're doing good shit. So, yeah, there's some dates coming up. I'll shoot them to you. They're actually playing at the Montage. His girlfriend's dad is in a band, and they're playing there as well. They do a lot of Floyd and stuff. So, that should be fun.
I was about to say, isn't that a strip club? But that's the Mirage.
The Mirage.
Montage Mirage. They get a little confusing there in Rochester.
Yeah, I bet you were disappointed that one time you showed up to the wrong place.
I have no joke.
Yeah, no.
Look, not a whole lot of news this week, which I'm okay with. I think that's kind of good because we're heading into a pay-per-view weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got SummerSlam. It's a 2-nighter. Plans for you? Are you able to see both nights live? Or
honestly, man, Weezy asked me about it. Again, not to sit here and complain. It's just this past weekend was such a shit show, and there's nothing that I can think of going on this weekend off the top of my head, but I'm sure there is. So my plan is to definitely to watch.
Roll with it?
Well, yeah, roll with it, and if I can watch, I'm going to watch. I don't know if I'm going to go to Weezy's or not. Maybe I'll go over for one night and do the other night here. Not 100% sure yet, but the plan is to watch both nights.
The original plan is I was supposed to be going to New Jersey, to East Rutherford, to MetLife, to go watch it with Bo, Co, the boys, my godsons. We were all going to go. And then when we saw it was like a minimum of 300 for the top of the stadium, the two boys are going to lose their goddamn interest pretty quick, but also be very mad that they have to look at
watch it on TV, basically.
A TV, basically, yes. So we're all doing a get-together instead because that was the original plan, was all of us going to Jersey, so we all took the time off. Yeah, Anyway, so we're all going to get together and watch it on Saturday. Just that part. Sunday, I'll probably make my way back home. But we'll get into predictions. I'm actually very curious to see what your thoughts are, what you think is going to happen for Saturday and Sunday. But first, like I said, very little news, but I sent you a video. There's a good version of it, and then there's an even better version of it. And it was Dirty Dom showing up at a AAA event in Mexico. The clean, polished version of it, God, the pop is so good. And then the unpolished on a regular phone version, it popped like speakers. Dom, we said it, he's going to be over as fuck because he's so good as a heel. He's going to be over as fuck one day.
Uh-huh.
But he showed up at a AAA event and everybody lost their shit. Love it.
Oh, just to see, even without hearing it, just seeing the fans physically react, amazing. Did you see the close-up of Dom's arm that they showed? Motherfucker was so jacked. Yeah, goosebumps to the fucking moon. Not the fake rock bullshit. I mean, this was like...
Yeah, he didn't do that. He was just in the moment like, holy shit, and I got to cut a promo on this fucking crowd, too.
Uh-huh.
Solid. And August 16th, and he's your reigning Intercontinental Champion, he is going to be at Triple Mania 33, where he's going to be in a match for the AAA Mega Championship against the Son of the Viking, who is the AAA Mega Champion, also against Dragon Lee and El Grande Americano. Not sure which one. And we'll get to Raw very soon. Another great thing that happened is Del Rio is completely done with AAA. Now, I did hear a mention last week on Raw. Michael Cole had said, well, you know, Wade, you were a part of the League of Nations with both Sheamus and Rusev, you know, like talking about it. And he goes, with Alberto Del Rio. They did bring it up. But I've also been seeing a lot that, you know, Fightful Select has reported that, no, there's no chance of a return.
I doubt it.
So.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I think there's too much on him, about him, whatever you want to call it. He's not making his way back.
Nope.
Now, I had actually mentioned like 3 months ago, I kind of like this Eddie Thorpe guy. He's in NXT, and he was getting in like Shawn Michaels' face. They were giving him a pretty good push. And it turns out, you know, and he was let go right after. And I go, that's good. And I remember my exact response. I go, oh, good. He was just pushed heavily. Let's get rid of him now. All right, great. And it turns out he demanded to be released from the company because he was having a mental breakdown. But as he kept asking to be pulled from stuff, Shawn Michaels kept putting him in to more TV stuff all the way up until he left. And both him and his girlfriend were let go on the same day, Dakota Kai. So, mental illness, Dakota Kai, your life is kind of evening out, my man.
Bullshit. Dakota Kai probably puts on some lingerie and takes one step towards the bed and her ACL tears.
That's fucked up and accurate.
Accurate.
Amazing. Some Mark said that, I'm going to get this right, Hangman Page would have worked in any era, especially dating back to the 70s. And my favorite take is one guy's exact one. He goes, yep, an alcoholic pretend cowboy gimmick with butterfly jeans that admits that he doesn't take advice from veterans and goes into business for himself live on TV.
Nailed it.
Yeah, would have worked in any era.
Just take the last part, okay? Let's not even
business
talk
for
about...
himself?
Yeah, exactly. If you did that in the 70s, especially on live TV, you would be in the hospital for 6 years because you'd get the shit kicked out of you.
There is a reason people were being stabbed back in the day. It's because you could almost pretty much get away with that shit. Just ask Jimmy Snuka. It's funny because it's like he would have worked in any era. Every era had a fucking cowboy. You got Magnum TA, you got the smoking guns, whatever. You know what I mean? Stan Hansen.
Stan Hansen, yeah. I was just going to say that, yeah.
Fucking Hangman couldn't have hung with any of those guys.
Still can't.
Still can't. Even
the dead ones. Fucking marks.
Well, speaking of marks, this one kind of pissed me off. I saw this. It was a quick headline. I actually decided to read into it. And Brian Danielson said that comparing his world title wins in AEW versus winning the world title at WrestleMania 30, it meant more to him in AEW, and he really doesn't care that much. It didn't mean that much to him to win it at WrestleMania 30. One of the reasons is because he wasn't allowed to have his fiancée, wife at the time, Brie, come in the ring. They let his sister and daughter, he went over and talked to Connor the Crusher, the Make-A-Wish kid or whatever, you know what I mean? But this motherfucker is going to say that meant nothing to him. The entire show was built around you. You were in the first match all the way into the end, and everybody boycotted shit for you. You ungrateful cunt. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And it's like, that meant, when he said WrestleMania 30 meant nothing to me, I'm like, you could have been like, it was a good moment. I liked AEW better, but to say it meant nothing to me. And you said because Brie wasn't allowed to be there. Fuck you.
Yeah, seriously, get over it. You went home and banged her afterwards anyway. Like, what fucking difference does it make? Wasn't she an active wrestler on the roster at that point anyway?
She was.
That's probably why. Fucking deal with it, bro. Who gives a shit?
I don't know why it bothers me.
Yeah, no, it kind of bothers me too, yeah. Like it's like he's just trying to go hard being a company man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem.
100%. Another thing that kind of bothers me is Bayley wasn't on WrestleMania. And I was like, that really sucks. They gave her a tag team title match the next night, yada, yada, yada. But she's not on another 2-night event, SmackDown. Or, Jesus Christ, SummerSlam.
Nah, yeah, not that one.
But why I say SmackDown is last week after SmackDown, when it went off the air, she got on the mic, and she's like, both cards have been released, and I'm not on anything. Are you guys kidding me? I'm with her. And then on Raw, they gave her a quick little interview where she was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, even she was like, I got to reevaluate things. I don't know if they're going to turn her heel again or what's the case, but there's only so much room. I will give you that. However, I will be counting all the shit in between. And you know what? Normally I don't care about the time in between. I dig it because you got in between each match, it's a smoke break, food break, piss break, whatever you want to call it. But when you got your long-term people who should be on your card somewhere, especially her, personally, I would give her a bone.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I think the thing with Bayley, though, is, I mean, honestly, now she's really like almost Natalia level. You're really just there to put other people over. So, you know what I mean? I hate to say it. She's still good. She's still one of the best wrestlers in that division. But again,
it's upset me to hear you say that. It's real, but it also sucks because it's true.
Yeah, but that's the way it is. Some things will never change.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thanks, Tupac. Well, it's actually not even Tupac. Who's the...
I always thought it was Steve Winwood, but that's not who it is.
Some things will never change. I just saw him, too, not too long ago live. Anyway, Late Night with
Bruce
Tony
Hornsby.
Hinchcliffe. Bruce Hornsby, thank you. That's who it was. Yep, saw him live last
Sorry, I had to we had to figure that out.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Late Night with Tony Hinchcliffe has been canceled for SummerSlam weekend. Do you think it has to do with Hogan?
It has nothing to do with Hogan. I think that news dropped before Hogan died.
Oh, really? Okay.
I believe so.
I thought it was after.
Yeah. No, I think...
Like, because there's going to be a lot of Hogan jokes or things like that, so they kind of pulled out.
It's not... I don't think they're really... like it's weird because it's technically a WWE event, or would have been, right? Sure. But I don't know how heavily they would have promoted it or shown clips on their channel and stuff like that. But it sounds like they don't want to take the chance because they know how You know how I feel about Hinchcliffe. Like, I give him some props, but he's also, Mr. Low-hanging fruit and a mark. So it sounds like it was just a lot of, they just didn't want to push the envelope too much.
Well, and we read the jokes from WrestleMania weekend. They weren't light. They were some pretty fucking dark things.
They went hard, yeah.
So, yeah. I was surprised they even announced a second one, to be honest with you, but I was like, all right, well, here we go. But, it's canceled. Now, I know that, as day of recording here for us, this show just came out earlier today on Netflix, and it's WWE Unreal. Did you get to see anything at all? Because I know you're working.
I haven't watched the episode. I've seen some clips. I saw the one of KO and Cody talking after their ladder match, and both like them just being very critical of themselves, even though they put on a hell of a show. And Kevin, Owen said something like, "Hey man, I did this and I meant to do that and I couldn't get there for you." He's like, "Dude, are you all right? I'm sorry, man." Like, it was like legit concern. Like, dude, I hope we didn't fuck that up. I hope I didn't fuck you up. So, that was kind of cool. The one clip that I saw, and I'm guessing it's from Unreal, is it looks like Liv's on her way to go out through Gorilla for a match, and Bailey's there, like, stretching, and Liv walks by, just slaps her on the ass.
And what's crazy is you hear Bailey kind of give out like a scream, kind of whatever, and I'm like, the most stopped part in Netflix history will be that right there, or like repeat 10 seconds. All right, so I only got to go one episode in. There's 5 altogether.
All right.
And the first episode was pretty much based around the Netflix debut, which was January 6th. Funnily enough, they cut Hogan's spot. They didn't have that in there at all.
Big surprise.
It was centered around Rhea Ripley, who was having like a full-blown panic attack the day of. Was in the ring with Liv and was like practicing what they're supposed to be doing. And she's like, nothing's retaining. She's like, it was just all blank. It was also centered around, obviously, CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Now, we all thought that was a great match. And we all had the same thought of, it's Netflix. They can do what the fuck they want. There's no time limit. And old Bruce Pritchard hops on there real quick on this Netflix thing and goes, nope, there is a limit at some point. And this isn't giving much away, but Chris Park, which is Abyss, was the what do you call it? The
agent,
producer for the match. Yeah, whatever you want. Agent, yeah, whatever. And was there, and they were going over in time, and he kept being like, "I'm sorry, Bruce, we're going in." He goes, "All right, cut the Anaconda of Ice. We're not doing that part. Go ahead, go." And after the match went over, it was only like a minute or two over. You watch Abyss kiss the ass of Bruce Pritchard so hard. He's like, I'm so sorry, man. And Bruce is like, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. All right. And I'm like, you're a cunt. Fuck you, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. Because you can say what you want, but you have extra time on Netflix. What's coming up next after that?
Yeah, right.
It's not like back in the day you got to get off the air so Silk Stockings can get on for Raw after Raw.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that.
That was great.
Flashbacks.
All right, so last week I talked about the G1 tournament. We do have, I want to say I have definitive leads, but we really don't. Everybody is up pretty much around the same area at 6 points, but Konosuke Takeshita is actually doing very well. He's at 6 points, which is a lead in his block, which also has 3 other guys who are at 6. But Yota Tsuji, former global heavyweight champion, he's at 8. He's the one leading the entire tournament. But the person getting 0 points here moving forward is Gabe Kidd. He had to officially withdraw from the tournament after, what did we say? It was a torn meniscus or something like that in his knee, I believe, last week.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know if we talked about it. I don't remember talking about it.
We did.
But I can barely remember shit anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, no, I know you can't. Here's one that's great with TK's quick sniffs of the week. This dude didn't write one thing about the wrestler that died. Like, and it's like, Hulk Hogan is, whatever anybody wants to say, it was like that was the guy. TNA did it that Thursday night, and Hogan died on Thursday, right? And TK waited all the way till Collision on Saturday night and had Tony Schiavone do it as a, just a side camera thing, you know what I mean? Like just him sitting there on camera and going through his own little eulogy, if you will, about Hulk Hogan. And a lot of people are like, yeah, well, Hogan he didn't do anything with AEW. Yeah, neither did Bray Wyatt, but they gave him a pretty big fucking tweet and a send-off.
Yep.
So it was Tony just saying, because I believe he had said at some point both Hogan and Linda
were banned. Yeah, I remember what we were talking about. Like, who cares about Linda? Why would Linda be on the show anyway? Like, you had a banner.
And it all went back to the remarks all the way back in 2015 or whatever it was. But whatever, man. And you know what? I saw Kevin Nash's interview. I saw the actual video of it, but also saw many people kind of retweeting it. The guy died. Fuck you. Fuck you for everybody who's trying to go just like hate on the guy right now. And it's like, people are mourning his loss, so go fuck yourself. And I agree with it. I do. You know what I mean? Like, I like the show that we did last week, Impromptu. It was a lot of accomplishments. Talked some real shit, but at the same point, it was, man, that was a big fucking name to lose in wrestling.
100%. We wouldn't be here. A lot of other people wouldn't be where they are right now if it weren't for him.
Yeah. So, some results last week. Trick Williams, for some reason, summoned The Undertaker, and he showed up on NXT and chokeslammed Trick Williams.
It's because whoever Trick was feuding with was an up-and-comer from LFG as part of Taker's team.
Castor Troy.
Yep.
It's Jasper Troy or whatever it is. But
yeah, from Face Off.
From Face Off. No more drugs for that guy. I love the timing of it, but also it's just great the way it looks. Ethan Page changed the North American Championship. The belt strap itself is white with red trim, and it has like Canadian map outlines, if you will, or whatever. And it's great. 25 years later with Lance Storm.
Yeah.
U.S. title. It was just great to see him do this. Big fan of that. I loved it. Over on SmackDown, on Dynamite, Edge, legend.
And
he hired the Hurt Syndicate, a heel team, to take out a heel team, the FTR, because he's not allowed to touch them. I guess they got some form of something in place where Edge can't go after them, so he hired another set of heels. So heels helping a face out. Okay?
Sure.
Storylining.
There's no such thing as heels and faces in AEW.
Well, and MJF was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And Lashley choked him up against the wall and was like, "We do what we need to. We're Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people."
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a good a reason as any, right?
Well, Jon Moxley wants his rematch, and he's getting it tonight on Dynamite for the World Championship. And it's funny because him and Marina Shafir put the chain wrapped around Colt Cabana's throat. I mean, like, I haven't seen this guy on TV in a couple of years, probably since Punk Talk shit. And they wrapped the chain around him and put him over the top rope the way that Moxley lost the championship at the pay-per-view a couple of weeks ago. And it's funny because all the retweets, it's like Punk is smiling over somewhere right now. I thought it was great. And then it was really weird. Will Ospreay says that he is in a lot of pain, especially within his neck. He's got a lot of issues, and he needs time away. But he hopes to be back in the month for Forbidden Door, which is in the end of August.
That is the dumbest thing to say because, one, you're either not hurt that bad and you're just able to take random time off because TK's a mark, or you're trying to put one over on people, in which case you kind of just spoiled it. So
that was my point. Thank you. It was like, why did you, like, you just gave all the answers away right there. Mm-hmm. On SmackDown, they did have a tribute, as well as on Raw. They did do an opening tribute to Hulk Hogan. I liked both video packages, and the one with on SmackDown, completely narrated by Triple H, and it's the exact same thing Vince would do too.
100%.
Go back to the Owen Hart passing away episode. He was the one that talked the whole time over the videos. Triple H doing it, just kind of tells you where you're at. The tag team results in the 6-pack tag team. The tag team match ended in a DQ and is now going to be a 6-pack tag team TLC match at SummerSlam, which is an anniversary of the very first TLC, which we're going to be seeing in the Wars very soon.
Very soon, yes.
But it's 25 years later, and we're going to have another TLC at SummerSlam. I'm for it. Los Garzas, they issued an open challenge for next week on SmackDown for their AAA Tag Team Championship. Zelina Vega will take on Gaiulia for the U.S. Championship. And the match that I was kind of hoping was going to be on SummerSlam's card is going to be on SmackDown's instead. It's Damian Priest versus Aleister Black.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about either of those matches, and I hate to say that because I do like Aleister Black. Zelina, I just no.
No, we've realized some things about Zelina. On Monday Night Raw, there's a third El Grande Americano. A lot of signs are pointing to that it was Pete Dunne.
I have seen that.
Either way, I think it's hysterical because I made the joke. I was like, they're going to have a whatever. And I'm pretty sure you were like, they're probably going to have a third one or something to the effect of like one of us brought it up. It's like, yeah, there's probably going to have a third one as well.
Well, there you go.
But the best part of Raw, it was the go-home show for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Punk did get in Gunther's face, and instead of saying consolation, do you say constellation?
Constellation instead of consolation, yes.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because we started late. Weezy didn't get home till like 9, so I showed up around then. We threw it on, and he sent me the message. Buster sends the message. I'm like, haven't gotten to that part yet. I'll answer you when I do.
Find out when
I forgot all about it, and he did it, and I'm like, oh.
It's not
happens.
Horrible.
Yeah, you can't
on the mic normally. So.
Exactly.
But Bronson Reed stole the shoes of Roman Reigns. I've seen so many funny things like Debo. These are my shoes now. To be honest with you, I'm just like, did he steal his shoes? I think he stole his shoes.
I think he stole his shoes. My favorite was Bronson because I like this kind of lead role he's taken, getting on the mic a little bit more. And he straight channeled Big Papa Pump. At one point, he's in the ring. See that camera? That's my camera. See those fat asses out in the crowd? Those are my fat.
You mean Braun Breaker?
What did I say? Reed? Yeah, Braun Breaker.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Braun Breaker straight channels Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner, his uncle. It was fucking great.
Braun Breaker. Excuse me. When he does his head knob like left to the right, left. I'm like, that's what I look like when I'm getting out of the pool.
Yeah. Probably looks like when you're. Never mind.
Okay, all right, easy guy. All right, this weekend it is the 30th.
Oh, whoa! You left something out for Monday Night Raw. The bakery match.
Oh, the bakery match. It was almost a Tony Khan match, except $20,000 wasn't on the line.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it was just a bunch of
bakery match.
Come on now.
Solid. All right. Now can I move on to SummerSlam?
Yes, you can. I'll find another place to interrupt you.
You took a trip to the bakery. Okay. Okay, so it's the 38th annual SummerSlam. It is the first ever that is a 2-night event, and it is MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, the second and the third. We're going to go match by match. Let's break it down right now. Here we go. Saturday's event. Tiffany Stratton defends the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. I have to say, I think, sadly, after you brought it up last week, I believe that Jade Cargill, unfortunately, is going to win this.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time with this one. I feel like I'm kind of waffling. There's still heat between Naomi and Cargill, so Naomi could show up just to fuck with her. Stratton still has Nia Jax lurking somewhere. She's probably at the bakery, too, for different reasons. I think ultimately, it's going to be some kind of schmaz, and Stratton's going to retain.
Okay, all right. The match is technically set for Randy Orton and Rolling Jelly taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. But as of right now, Drew McIntyre has been stuck in England, if I'm not mistaken, and can't make his way there. I see The Miz did put out a video trying to say, hey, I could take the spot. If it was me, I would actually just do Logan Paul, Rolling Jelly, call it a fucking day. Don't even bother with the tag match.
No. So Weezy and I were talking about this, and I think Weezy nailed it. So I'll give him credit. Confirmed he did not see this on ESPN. Dude, think about this. You work for a multi-billion-dollar company. You couldn't have somebody just get on a plane with his passport, go to his house, get his passport, get on a plane, give it to him, throw it in a fucking FedEx envelope, and next day air it? You telling me you can't do that? They're playing this one close to the chest. They're going to act like he's not there, and at the last second, like Aldis is, or like I don't know if it would be Aldis or if it would be Pierce, but they're going to come out and be like, listen, everybody, I'm really sorry, but there's a problem with Drew McIntyre's passport. Drew's going to just come walking out with no music right behind Pierce.
All right, we'll see if you're right.
If Weezy's right, I got to give him credit for it.
That would be if it was a face. If it was a face, yes, and it works great.
But that's something that Drew would do, and he's over anyway.
Yeah, he does troll people. I'll give you that. I'll give you it. We'll see. We'll see if you're right, Weezy. The Women's Tag Team Championship, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I assume that the champs are going to retain, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. They're Flair and Bliss are definitely picking up some steam. I like We're Not Friends were the shirts they were wearing, but now they're slowly becoming friends. I'm sure one will turn on the other at some point. But as over as they are, they don't need the titles. They'll do something with this. And, yeah, I think Judgment Day retains.
Agreed. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. I think the heels go over. And I think they should.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's going to be enough opportunities for feel-good moments over the weekend. Mm-hmm. This doesn't need to be one of them. Breaker and Reed are on a tear, and you got to keep the momentum going. Don't take your foot off the gas, right?
Well, I was going to say, and if you have Roman and Jey win, you completely just squash that momentum. Exactly what you just said. So yep. I'm with you on that. Hopefully the heels are on this one.
Agreed. We were focusing so much on Drew McIntyre, we never picked any winners. Let's say the tag match happens as scheduled.
Oh, Orton and Jelly.
Okay, agreed.
I assumed it was never going to be the faces.
Yeah,
no.
Never
going to be the heels winning anyway.
Yeah.
The payoff match, the rubber match in the trilogy, Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Kross got the last pay-per-view win. First match win was Sami Zayn on a Raw. Sammy's still hurt, maybe, quote unquote. I'd love to see Karrion Kross get another win, especially at SummerSlam. But I see them fucking pulling Sami Zayn. It's kind of like, we're like, he's not going to beat Gunther. And you're like, what the fuck? He beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship? So, sadly, probably Sami Zayn, but I want Kross to win.
I agree that I want Kross to win, and that's why I'm going to pick him. I'm hoping that WWE just sees the light and see what's possible with Kross, and they're going to just run with it. So let's hope so. I'm picking Kross.
Okay, so tell me who you're picking for the World Championship match. Gunther against CM Punk.
So I was talking about it with Weezy yesterday, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. Put the title on Punk and let Gunther win it back. We've been talking about this. Why not just... it doesn't hurt. Not everybody has to hold the title for half a year. Gunther, is that dominant that he can lose it, but he'll get it back anyway. You know what I mean? That can kind of be his thing. He faces tough challenges. And I think Punk is just so over. Even a short reign as world champion would be a cool thing. Ultimately, though, I don't think so. I think Gunther's going to retain.
I just have this bad feeling Punk's going to win. And then we're going to hear, burn it down!
So,
and Rollins is fine.
Well, what if fucking Braun uses it?
He can't.
Who says? It's WWE. Anything can happen.
I guess that's true. I mean, Rey Mysterio was thrown off a building. Was on Raw the next night.
There you go. Possessions is 9/10 of the law. Oh, my God. Was that the ladder match? Money in the Bank?
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
I forgot about that.
Vince Neil only did 6 days, and Christ, he killed somebody. All right. I'm thinking Punk in the cash-in, personally.
Okay. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I forgot to add that angle to it. I'm still going to go with Gunther because what I think would happen with the briefcase is that Braun and Bronson would come down and they're going to argue about who gets to use it.
I think Seth is fine.
I don't know. There was a Mark photo of him out with a massive knee brace on, out with his family and crutches.
Yeah, and he was also he was using the same kind of walking sticks that Walter Jr. uses, or whatever he calls.
He doesn't have fucking MS or whatever it was.
You guys were meth dealers the whole time? You didn't tell me?
So tell me, were you lying then? Or are you lying now? Which is it?
Kid just loves the cereal. All right, Sunday. We're heading into SummerSlam. By the way, I guess it's like an estimated 16 hours in total for both days. There's going to be 3-hour pre-shows. So this thing starts at 6 o'clock both days. I don't think I'm going to be in the room watching at 3. I also don't have a great leg right now, so I might. Who knows? But Sunday, you have the Women's World Championship. Imone defending against Rhea Ripley, as well as Io Sky. I think that Imone walks away with a retain.
Agreed.
Nice. Good talk.
Good talk.
Okay. U.S. Championship Steel Cage match. Where's Tama Tonga?
I don't know.
The one we like.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably fucked up his teeth.
Have you seen the video of Tonga Loa in New Japan? He's like, bitch ass hoes and flamin' Doritos. That's how he started a promo one time. Solid.
Yeah, botches everything,
What if Tama Tonga comes back and helps Jacob Fatu? Because you got the taller Tonga, you got the botched Tonga. So I'm just saying.
Botchaloa.
Because they also have Jeff Cobb in that group, which still bothers me.
JC Mateo.
Fuck that. It's Jeff Cobb. His mama called him.
His mama called him Jeff Cobb. I'm going to call him Jeff Cobb.
Who do you think wins, Solo or Jacob?
Ooh, well, I like the wrinkle of Tama Tonga coming back and siding with Fatu. I think that's kind of cool. This is a tough one, right? Because you just keep Solo on his... Because, Solo, he's a mid-carder, so the U.S. title kind of suits him. Fatu is slated for bigger things, right? Totally. So I'm going to go with Solo retaining on this one.
Okay. I get on board with that, too. I mean, I want Tama Tonga, but I do believe Solo is probably going to retain. The Intercontinental Championship match for the women's... it's a no DQ and a no count out.
Lazy
Becky
booking.
Lynch versus Lyra Valkyra and Becky Lynch. And if Lyra loses, she can't get another title shot. Becky Hogan wins.
Agreed. Good talk.
Easy enough.
Don't care.
Men's Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio against AJ Styles. Oh, I think Dirty Dom walks away with it.
Agreed. I'd like to see... Oh, I'm getting so choked up about it. I'd love to see...
throw up over there, dude?
I would love to see AJ get the Grand Slam. I think that would be awesome. But Dominic, I think, is the right choice. AJ doesn't need that title, so
Not at the moment, no.
No. So, Dominic.
In the everybody that was left on SmackDown match, we have the tag team TLC 6-pack ladder match. And it's the Wyatt Sucks against Andrade and Rey Fenix, against DIY, against Fraxium, against Motor City Machine Guns, against the Street Profits.
Okay,
the
so
only team I want to see win it would be Phoenix and Andrade.
I was just gonna say that. They did that promo, where they, were like in suits and they just kind of went back and forth. I loved it. I loved it. I wanted them to win the titles on SmackDown. The beatdown going off the air with the chaos and Nikki Cross running around in and out of the camera shot was gold. I loved it. It's the only thing I've really liked about the Wyatt Sucks. And just going on a tangent, I was talking about it with Weezy the other day. The problem is these guys came out too hard. It started with like a mass murder. That's how these guys debuted.
Chad Gable in the fucking head.
So, but anyway, it's tough, right? Because you could look at this one of two ways. It's either keep the titles on the Sucks because why not, or let's go with somebody else. Honestly, I'd like to see Andrade and Rey take it and kind of revive the tag division on SmackDown with them. I feel like the tag division on SmackDown's stronger than it is on Raw. Because I don't think Fraxium's going to win it. I don't think MCMG's going to win it. So I'm going to go with Andrade and Phoenix just because it's another. I'm going to be a mark about it. I think it's the right play.
I think it's them. If it's not, then the Sucks retain.
Agreed.
It's funny because I did see a very funny thing. Chad Gable in an arm brace at what appeared to be like a Major League Baseball game. And the lady was interviewing him. And he goes, "It was great this year. I had my very first singles match at WrestleMania. It was awesome." And someone wrote below it, "You telling me this motherfucker is Rey Fenix?" Good shit. Anyway. But then you also got the main event, Cody Rhodes and John Cena. It would be a good time to get the title off of him, because if not, we're just anticipating all the way till December. And if he does get the title off of him, where does he go from there? What kind of feuds could Cena have? But do we want Cody Rhodes as the world champ again as well? I'm going to say a Cena retain. However, I have seen a couple of what if Cody does side with The Rock.
Yeah, the whole he's wearing the watch thing and all that. Yeah. Ultimately, I think Cena retains. Whether The Rock makes an appearance or factors in somehow, I don't know. The idea is that Cena wanted the title, and he's taking it. He's taking it from the WWE. He's taking it from the fans. Why cut that short now? That's his exit. That's his outro. He can lose it at Survivor Series and still have like a month left of redemption. So I think Cena retains.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we're going to find out. It's all this Sunday or Saturday and Sunday night. And, hey, I've always told you, man, SummerSlam is my favorite time of the year, and we're going to be talking more SummerSlam moments in just a little while. But first, I think we both have to bring a couple of things to the table.
No, we don't. We got to talk about Brother Rocker.
Before we get to bringing it to the table, Brother Rocker did send out a message. He was like, appreciate the nod there, because, we had said, it gave us a reason to think about the difference of Hulk and Terry. But he was like, I can't believe you guys failed to mention that he played bass long before wrestling. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, we went right into the wrestling career and just dove right in, and good call. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Which is even more hilarious because Brother Rocker himself plays bass and my son plays bass. So
yeah,
you'd think that I would have picked up on that and be like, I should bring this up.
I have a bass.
I do too.
That's as far as I can go. I have a bass.
Yeah, same here. Maybe one day I'll learn how to play it. Probably not.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm getting there.
All right.
But yes, Hulk Hogan played the bass. They actually talked about it on the video package on SmackDown.
Yep, used that old picture of him back when he was in a band in the late 70s. And according to the huckster himself, he was recruited to play bass for the Rolling Stones and Metallica.
Metallica. Is it too soon to listen to the Lies of Hogan, Jim Cornette episode?
Not at all. I love it because I love Brian Last just cackling the whole time. And I got to mention, I listened to the morning show here on CMF in Rochester, the break room, right? Mm-hmm. And they talked about Hogan's passing. And the guy actually did bring up some of the lies. It was kind of impressive that he brought up Hogan saying he got offered a contract by the Yankees and the Cardinals, but turned it down because he broke his arm, which is Macho Man's story. He actually brought that up. He brought up playing bass. He brought up missing the Foreman deal for the Foreman Grill because he was out getting his kids.
Saying Tyson was scared of Hulkamania. Tyson got knocked out in Japan the week before, and that's why Buster Douglas had to show up to Saturday night's main event. Phenomenal.
It is. R.I.P.
Can we go to the table?
Table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
I'm sure you're probably skeptical of it because you're a bitter old fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But Happy Gilmore 2, I think, delivered. I think it was a pretty good movie overall. The worst part of the movie was MJF.
Really? That's disappointing.
Happy, right? Well, Happy has 4 grown-up sons. Have you watched the show Shameless?
No.
So there's a kid in there, Ethan Katowski, or whatever his name is. He played Carl Gallagher on Shameless. He's one of the sons. Does great. 2 other guys are no names. They did fine. MJF overacted like a motherfucker, and it was just too noticeable.
He's a wrestler. That's what they do.
Yeah. And then at one point, let's just say, because I don't want to spoil anything, but this movie kind of meets Caddyshack 2 with your amusement park type setup with a new golf trying to take over. And Becky Lynch plays for one of those teams, and she was equally as bad as she is on promos in the ring.
That sounds about right, though. That tracks.
Yeah. Nikki Bella was in the movie as well as just a golf number chick.
Okay, because I heard her scenes got cut.
Yeah, no, she was barely in it. Like, you could see her, and that was it.
Maybe that's what they're referring to. No, I've heard positive things about it, so I'm going to definitely check it out.
Good. I think you should. I think they did a good nod to the first movie and made this one, I think, pretty fucking well overall. Haley Joe Osment got a little fat. Didn't realize he was in this movie, but he's in it. He saw dead people. I saw fat people. Hey, what are you bringing to the table?
Another tournament, because I know how much you love them, and I meant to bring this up a few weeks back. My brother posted this on Facebook, and I thought it was awesome.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you remember what it is. I'm gonna do it. I mean, I'm interested in your answers. I'm just gonna keep track of my answers because I want to work it out and see what the finish is. So this is the Old Guy Phrase Tournament. Oh, we'll blow through this pretty quick. First bracket, we've got Newsflash, buddy, versus Yellow. When you answer the phone?
I'm a yellow. I'm
yellow
a yellow
guy
answer.
all the way, buddy. Yep, I agree with you. Yellow.
Actually, do you ever watch Modern Family?
No.
So Phil Dunphy, the main father, he'll always ask a question right before answering the phone. His phone will ring, and he's like, "Quick, what color is Big Bird?" He's like, "Yellow," or he's like, "Quick, who sang the song?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yellow." Love it.
Nice. I don't think I'd have enough. I'd have to write some down and start memorizing them.
Oh, it's fantastic. So yeah, I'm all about yellow.
Me too. All right, next one. Look what the cat dragged in. Versus hate to burst your bubble.
Oh, I'm a hate to burst your bubble guy.
All right, I'm going with look what the cat dragged in because, yeah. Sorry, I got to type these down. All right, so that's going to be... All right, so next we got Let Me Sneak Past You. And Don't Mind If I Do.
I don't do the don't mind if I do. I'm definitely let me sneak past you kind of guy. Like, oh, let me sneak right past you here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a don't mind if I do kind of guy. So that's what I'm going with. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. Next, it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
That's New York.
Against working hard or hardly working.
I'm a working hard, working guy.
All right. On to the next bracket. What's the damage?
Yep.
Bill at a restaurant, right?
Oh, yeah.
See you later, alligator. It's what's the damage? I don't do the alligator.
Nah, yeah. I mean, maybe like with a kid or something like that, you mess around with that, but what's the damage?
Next one. You and what army versus these are dangerous. Talking about food.
Oh, I say that about food or like certain booze,
drinks,
like when you drink it, and it's like,
or certain
this
nuggets.
Is dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah, dangerous is the one.
100%. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Versus
funny this is white. These are old guy phrases.
Old guy phrases.
White old guy phrases.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's implied because every picture's of a white old man, but yeah, because there's little pictures next to the sayings. So no more Mr. Nice Guy versus Nice Blinker.
I'm more likely to do the blinker. I don't think I would ever say no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Unless you're singing Alice Cooper.
That's a great jam.
Yeah. Agreed. Nice blinker it is. Last one for the first round. Ready to rock and roll or cool your jets?
Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I kind of like cool your jets. But so there's one that's not on here, and it's because it's not really an old man saying, but it's from a movie, and I love it because I used to say it to the kids all the time. And then when the kids saw the movie and they heard the line, they look at me like, wait, that's where it's from? All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Nice.
So,
see, mine, instead of cool your jets, would be calm your tits.
Oh, definitely.
But that's not an old man thing.
It is not. Okay. So let's loop back. We've got yellow versus look what the cat dragged in.
Still yellow.
Agreed. So yellow. And don't mind if I do versus working hard or hardly working. That's a tough one.
For me, the working hard.
Yeah, I'm going to go with don't mind if I do. I definitely use both of those phrases a lot. But like you said, the don't mind if I do is a Simpsons thing for me. So what's the damage versus these are dangerous? I think that's easy.
I'm going to go with the dangerous.
Yeah, agreed, yes. And then we got nice blinker versus ready to rock and roll.
I'm more likely to use the blinker.
Yeah. Okay. That brings us down to our final four. Yellow versus don't mind if I do.
Yellow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's yellow. It is yellow. Answer. Yep, absolutely.
Yellow.
And these are dangerous versus nice blinker. These are dangerous.
Dangerous.
It's got to be yellow. Yeah, it's yellow.
I think it is, yeah. I'm telling you, man, that's how I answer a lot of the phone calls.
Oh, do I do all? And oddly enough,
I don't even care if I know you or not.
It's another Simpsons thing.
Oh, nice.
That's how Homer always answers the phone. Yellow.
Oh, that's right, he does. I was actually just listening to some old school Bart calling Moe's with
oh God,
calls.
Amanda Hug and Kiss.
Mike, last name Crotch. Mike Crotch. Good tourney. You know what? I was actually going to say, I want you to bring something up at some point and have me blind rank. Because you know how people do blind ranking of things. I'm kind of curious where I would put certain things without knowing what else is on deck. I want you to do that at some point. I want to see how true I would be.
So not like a tier list, not like, S tier, A, B, C, D. More like 1 through 10. And
I was going to say 1 through 5, 1 through 10. Sure.
Okay. All right. I'll try to come up with some of those.
That's fair.
It's a good idea.
All right, man. Well, it's one of my favorite weeks in the wars ever because there was no pay-per-view. Let's hit it.
Monday Night Wars!
Who is it? Oh, hey, Trish. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie, I just came here to set the record straight. There's no need to set the record straight. It's just like last Thursday. I think there was a big misunderstanding.
there was a complete misunderstanding, and Hunter and I spoke, and it's okay, really.
So I hope you'll accept my apology?
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
There. That's great.
See, I told you that was...
Can you believe that plastic, conniving bitch? What? And you know, I know the look on her face, okay? I'm a woman. I know how women are. She was looking at you like with certain intentions, and you know what? I don't like the way that you were looking at her either.
Yeah.
It's the Monday Night Wars, and it's one of those weeks where I go, this is ODM's project. This is his idea.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You have the luxury of not having to watch. You could just be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. He's going to tell me what happened anyway.
I've done it on a couple of nights.
Oh, I know. I know.
Where I'm like, when you tell me things, I'm like, really? It's like when my favorite fucking thing, I just saw it recently in Breaking Bad, when Skyler starts putting the story together that he was doing the casino gambling, and Walt gets in close, like, wait, what else happened? Wait, what? Like, he's leaning in. That's how I feel when you start talking about Nitro. I'm like, wait, what? They showed up? But I watched this week, sadly.
All right, I guess I'll kick it off here. It's July 31st, 2000, Raw's in Atlanta. Show opens up with JR doing an overdub of a picture of Gordon Soley, who passed away from cancer. We all know who Gordon Soley is. Not going to go into it. Look it up. Read a book. After that, they do a recap of SmackDown where Triple H and Stephanie got into a tiff. There was more flowers. Steph was all excited. Says she has no clue. And Triple H says, well, let's see who they're from today. Stephanie reads the card. They're from Triple H. So then Foley books Triple H in an intergender tag match, and his partner is Trish Stratus. Triple H is all pissed off, and Triple H is like venting to Stephanie. He goes like, you know, all these women don't get it yet. You, Trish, Lita, what they don't understand. She's like, whoa. Who the fuck you talking about? So she walks
women?
up. Yeah. What do you mean, you women? What do you mean, you women? Huh? So later in SmackDown, we see Triple H is showing Trish some wrestling moves. And she's like, he gets her like in an arm bar and says, all right, now reach down and try to grab my ankle. Stephanie walks in. He's got her by one arm bent over right in front of him. And the look on his face is classic. He's like, oh, fuck.
That's a very memorable Attitude Era moment. That shit's hysterical.
And
well done. The
and
timing on it was great.
Stephanie goes full fucking freak bitch and just starts like smashing lamps against the wall and just storms out. So we see a limo arrive to the arena. It's Triple H.
China's like, wait, that was an option?
Yeah. Right. Oh, boy. Triple H arrives solo. We open up with Road Dogg and X-Pac versus Blackman and Al Snow. And they show Blackman from earlier in the day when he found out, and they tease it and they pan over. And it's Al Snow listening on headphones on like a boombox. It reunited and it feels so good.
Solid Al years.
Dude, this the only that nice thing about this match was because it was like a hardcore match, no DQ. X-Pac gets a kendo stick, goes to swing it at Blackman. Blackman rolls through it, right, and he gets right to his bag and he gets his fighting sticks, knife, sword, whatever they're called. I don't know. Mm-hmm. X-Pac rears back with the kendo stick and it flies out of his hands. Thankfully, it landed not in the crowd but at ringside. And that was not supposed to happen because the camera cuts away, but you still see one of the production guys at ringside goes and gets it and gives it back to X-Pac.
Let me just unwedge this from this person's eye here in the front row. Here we go. And here you go, X-Pac.
And then they do their spot. Snow accidentally hits Blackman with a trash can lid. X-Pac hits the X-Factor for the win. See another limo arrive. It's Stephanie this time. Triple H comes to the ring with roses, admits he made a very big mistake, says there's never been anything between me and Trish, never will be. Stephanie, I want you to accept my apology. So Stephanie comes to the ring. And she's like, well, how would you feel if I was bent over in front of Kurt Angle? I'm like, I'm guessing Kurt Angle wouldn't mind. They end up making up. Foley comes out, and he has fake tears streaming down his face. And it was gross. Because he looks like he just came out of a Bukkake film. It was it was fucking gross.
There goes another episode name we're not able to use.
Not going to be able to use
coming
that
out of
one.
a Bukkake film.
But it was gross. It was like gel, and it was like just like getting on his shirt and shit. He looked like a teenager's sock.
Why are there always an odd number of socks in the hamper? Oh, there's always one missing.
Oh, my God. Oh, anyway, getting back to it. Foley says that's the biggest load of horse crap I've ever seen. He starts laughing. He replays the footage with Triple H and Trish. And he calls Triple H out for walking out on the match on SmackDown and fines him $5,000. And he goes, listen, I know $5,000 ain't much to a guy like you, but this is a warning. You ever walk out of a match I book again, you're gone. And I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself tonight. We're going to have our first ever husband-wife tag match. And it's going to be Stephanie and Triple H versus Lita and The Rock.
So, I'm sorry. Are they husband and wife on the other end, too? Or is it just one-sided as husband and wife?
It's completely one-sided, yes. Unless there's something that we've never heard about.
Like, you couldn't at least go Matt Hardy, Lita, at this time?
Right. Yeah, that make too much sense, I guess.
They didn't break that kayfabe.
Yeah, kayfabe, pal.
Not until Edge, put it in.
Boo. We see footage from...
Ooh, nothing. You know how many times last week
I
told you how much I like Lita? Yeah, ask Adam Copeland that. He's like,
Yeah.
wow, Matt Hardy, you have a broken neck? Hey, Lita, how you doing?
I got an angle idea.
Had nothing to do with the angle. He put his
I'm
angle in
sure.
first and then waited 6 months before all that shit happened.
You saying his legend has an angle?
This legend. I get it.
Uh-huh, yeah. It means he has a crooked penis. They show footage from earlier in the day.
Don't we all?
We see footage from earlier in the day. The Hoes are protesting because they're not allowed to be with Godfather anymore. And they have signs that say, save the Hoes. And they get all the chants from the fans saying, save the Hoes. Hug a hoe today.
I don't think they understand what work in a corner is technically like. It's like, no, not here with a sign. Wrong.
So usually you don't need a sign.
Well,
sells itself.
Get a Wendy from Wendy.
Ooh. You need crystal meth just for that. Next match is Edge and Christian versus... what? Jesus, I wrote this wrong. I love when I do this. I wrote Edge and Christian versus Edge and Christian.
I swear to God, I knew you were going to write that.
Edge and Christian versus the Hardys with Lita for the tag titles. There's a sign. Bomb Canada.
Jesus Christ.
They're in Atlanta. Edge and Christian call the Braves the Yankees' personal bitches. The Bitchlanta Braves, because they are. Swanton Bomb. Christian pulls a ref out at 2, takes out the ref. Edge uses the chair on Jeff. It's a DQ. And we get our first concerto.
Which is starting to lead towards the pay-per-view. Everybody is leaning towards one foreign object they like more than the other.
You know, I thought about something today, and it never hit me. Maybe we've discussed this before. Maybe we haven't. We're not going to be covering the next WrestleMania as part of the Wars.
But we could if we just gave it 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not doing that, though.
We are.
Nah. Yeah, what's
see
another?
how they recover.
What's another 2 weeks? I guess, right?
Not even. I think it's that. It was like that fucking Sunday.
You sure?
I'm like pretty fucking sure.
All right, we'll check that out. Anyway, we see Shane, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and Big Show watching from the back. Foley comes in, books Show in a match against Kane, and Benoit and Angle against the Dudleys. The Hoes are in the arena now. Triple H is with Stephanie. We hear a knock at the door. It's Trish. She wants to set the record straight. Stephanie accepts the apology. And as soon as Trish leaves, that dirty bitch. Can you believe the gall on this bitch? Stephanie just starts trash talking her. He's like, and you know what? I'm not happy about how you were looking at her. He's fucked.
Girls don't trust girls.
No, they don't. Coaches
never say this is a coworker.
No, I don't even know this bitch.
I don't know this bitch.
Who the fuck is that bitch?
Crazy day? Who the fuck is you?
I don't know you, man. Coaches with Edge and Christian. They're just putting over the concerto. Matt jumps them. They brawl. We had Angle and Benoit versus the Dudleys. Ref bump. Get the tables. Show makes the save. Benoit gets the pin. Triple H is with Stephanie. Triple H says, don't worry, Lita's not going to get to you. I'm going to protect you. Stephanie, well, maybe you could show me some holds. And Triple H is kind of hesitant about it, but he's like, all right, I'll show you one. So it shows her one, and, she chokes him, and he embellishes it. He's like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good. And then she wants...
Show me like this one.
Yep. Don't ask Benoit to show it to you. Then Stephanie wants him to show her the move that he showed Trish. And he's like, okay. So they do it. And Stephanie bends over, and he goes, whoa. You're a lot taller than her. And she's like, what the fuck does that mean? And he goes, all right, my bad. Let's just try it again. And he goes, nice job, Trish. And the whole arena just goes, oh, shit! The arena pop was the best part about it. He's fucking busting a gut over there.
I'm dying.
Rooney.
I was trying to hold it in. That was hysterical, though. Oh, Trish. Oh, God damn it! It was the whole fucking crowd. It was great.
It was what was the naked? It was the Naked Gun where everybody slaps their head at the same time. 100%. Stephanie gets in the limo and bounces. Says to hell with you. Right to censor come to the ring. Hoes are in the crowd. Goodfather gets on the mic. The hoes hop the barricade. Richards tells security to escort him out. The Acolytes come out. It's the Goodfather and Buchanan versus the Acolytes. Farouk. They tried to do something where Buchanan came off the top rope and Farouk was going to counter it into a power slam. It looked awful, but Farouk gets the pin. Right to censor beat down Acolytes post-match. And we get Michael Cole at the Republican National Convention, putting over Linda McMahon being there, talking to all the politicians. Apparently they're going to be at the Democratic National Convention next week. So, yay, politics. We know where this ends up.
Was she handing out bottles of A1 sauce to everybody?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, she saw the future on that one. She knew what was up. Had a whole fucking crate of them. Next, you get Rikishi versus Taz. Rikishi wins. Too Cool come out. Dance party. Triple H goes to see Foley. Triple H talks about his women problems. Like, oh, yeah, you know what that's like, bro. Oh, yeah, women be shopping, And Triple H is like, but...
Such a stale old joke.
I know, right?
Funny.
Yellow.
Yellow. Women be shopping.
You know what they say? All waitresses look the same. No context. I just had to throw it out there.
I bet you were a waitress.
Shauna.
Okay, all right. We gotta.
All right. Triple H is telling Foley, without Stephanie, you probably should just postpone this match. Foley says, "Nah, I can't do that, man. People came to see you guys wrestle, Triple H says, "All right, well, how about we just make it 2-on-1?" Foley says, "I'm gonna get Trish to be your partner." And Foley goes, "Watch those hot tags, buddy." Euphemism. Eddie and Chyna versus Val Venus and Saturn with Terry. Yeah, this one just turned into a schmoz. I don't even know what happened. Not worth it. We see Malenko and his two hoes at WWF New York. Triple H is in the locker room. Trish comes in. Triple H tells her to get the hell out. Then we get Kane versus Show. Shane interferes, then Angle, then Benoit, then the Dudleys make the save. And we go right to our main event. It's Triple H and Trish Stratus versus The Rock and Lita. Trish blinds The Rock. Triple H sets up the pedigree, but The Rock reverses and launches Triple H into the corner where Trish is. Rock then hits a spine buster on Trish. Tags in Lita. She hits the moonsault for the win. Rock gets the chair, hits Triple H in the back, and Triple H falls right on top of Trish in a 69. And Rock just looks and laughs. I mean, listen, if you're going to attitude era, you know?
Poor Trish.
Poor.
He just got done being in a match.
Stink face. Triple H's junk in her face. I'm sure Vince had something to do with that at some point.
So that's what Stephanie smells like.
Snephanie?
You're a fucking asshole.
Play the commercial.
After these messages,
we'll be right back.
How do you know what's inside you unless you test yourself? Don't do 1 push-up. Do 100. Don't run 1 mile. Run a marathon. Don't have 1 family. Have a second family all the way across the country. Don't just have a second family. Have a third family in Santa Fe with an alternative lifestyle. Don't spend any time with the first 2 families. Make a commitment to family number 3 and double down by announcing it at his war hero father's retirement party. Don't go to the funeral, because remember, you got 2 other families to deal with and a marathon to train for. Don't just let Kenneth walk out of your life. Take his life from him. Don't just go to jail. Go to death row by killing the 2 other families. Don't just let anyone have their closure by apologizing. Send a message that you're not afraid of hell. Nike. You may not know this, but our full name is Nikel.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Oh, God.
Snephanie is something I just like to call her on the side. Hey,
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Well, fuck it. Let's go to Nitro. Nitro's in Cincinnati. Also a tribute to Gordon Solie at the beginning, and it's hilarious because in the past when wrestlers or wrestling personalities have passed away, they do like a 3-bell salute. Like, I don't ever think they did a 10-bell salute.
Nitro, yeah.
They did for Gordon Solie. Somehow they did it in 5 seconds, though. You know, normally you do the 10-bell, you know, you pause in between and kind of let it...
Ding,
ding. Yeah, right? It was like
ding.
a fucking R&B track. Opens up with a Booker T hype package. He arrives to the arena. His wife is driving. He was attacked by Jeff Jarrett. He's not 100%. He heads to the ring. He asks the fans if they want to see him defend against Sting tonight. And he says, well, it's going to happen tonight. Jarrett comes out. He says, whoa, I have a title shot at New Blood Rising. He calls Booker slapatory. And then he says, let me drop the bomb on your mom. Jarrett says there will be no title shot tonight. Booker says if you want to dance, you got to pay the band, and if you want to be the man, you got to beat the playa. Jive turkey. Booker says we can do it now. They brawl. Jarrett uses a chair. Saw a sign. Axe Booker. I learned him English.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right? I had to read it a couple times. I'm like, what? Why? Like, fire him? And I'm like, oh, but Bret Hart must have wrote that sign.
He asked him a question.
Let me ask you a question. Shivani goes, do we have a title match here? What do you think?
No, he doesn't know. He has no fucking clue. No one gave him a rundown.
No. Jarrett locks in the figure 4. The lights flicker. Sting comes to the ring. He's in full gear. He still has on the Black Ops mask. Hits the Stinger splash. And here's the best part. Earlier in the night, like, is tonight going to be the night that we're going to see Sting take off his mask? Well, as soon as he gets in the ring, he takes the mask off. Helps Booker up.
That's it.
he accepts the title match. Jarrett gets on the mic. He goes, "You want a show? I'll give you a show. Call it Slap Nuts Theater." Booker's wife just happens to be in the crowd right where he's standing, and he pulls her over the barricade and hits her in the head with a guitar. Outstanding. Let's see. So Lavestia, that's her name. She's out in a neck brace, stretchered into an ambulance. Sting and Booker are there. Sting says, "Go to the hospital with your wife. I'll take care of Jarrett tonight for you." Next, you get Buff versus Big Vito. Judy's on commentary. Buff is distracted by his mom, though. He keeps thinking he sees Canyon, and that allows Vito to get the win. The cat's in his office. Do you remember those things that were like a bunch of pins, and you could like put your hand into it, so on the other side it would be like a 3D mapping of your hand?
Yeah, usually people put their face into it.
Put their face into it, too, yeah. So he's just playing with that. He's got his hand in it. The Kwee-Wee comes in. He wants a match with the Artist. Cat says, "You're just a wardrobe guy." Kwee-Wee slaps Cat with his gross-ass, grimy-ass slippers. Dude, they show the bottom of them. They're gross as fuck. Cat just laughs. Kwee-Wee freaks out, and Cat books the match. The Broad is with Positively Canyon. She says, "Judy Bagwell is up for grabs at New Blood Rising, but why do you want her as the new Kimberly?" What?
Experience.
Yeah, I guess. Those Bagwells are weird. So they must have announced this on Thunder, but yes, it is going to be a Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
This is what you were talking about the other day.
Nope, there's something else too.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. Canyon says, "Maybe I'll make her a Nitro girl." Ew. The Broad asks Canyon, "You feel like a man hitting the cutter on all those women's?" Canyon sets up like he's going to hit the cutter on the Broad. And Mean Gene makes the save. You're not taking away my blowjob tonight. The camera pans away and pans back. He hit the cutter on Gene. But yeah. And then Buff finds Canyon and hits a DDT on the concrete floor. That's a hospitalization angle, but it's WCW. So let's see.
Because I did see a video come up the other day, and it's going to be Fall Brawl in a couple of months.
Okay.
And it's where Gene is talking with the Natural Born Thrillers. He's like, "Listen to me, you asshole." And Gene just starts like going back and calling everybody names and shit. Oh, I can't wait for Fall Brawl. I can't wait to see what the next pay-per-view brings. I can't believe I can't remember what it is.
Oh, yeah. It's a big one. It's not that big of a one, but it is something. You'll be like, "Oh, shit, I forgot about that."
Yeah.
So anyway, next we get the Artist with Paisley versus Kwee-Wee. Artist looks like he's in the Village People now. Kwee-Wee hits a tilt-a-whirl facebuster for the win, which is hilarious because I just saw a video from NXT showing a training video, somebody hitting that move saying, "Well, what are you going to call it?" Paisley likes what she sees, and Kwee-Wee gets on the mic post-match and tells the boys in the back, "Don't get me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry." Gimmick infringement. You know what that's from?
Yes, I do.
What is it from?
Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. Spoiler alert. Kwee-Wee is about to have a new gimmick. The guy that we've seen in like 3 backstage segments, and this is the first time we've seen him in the ring, is about to get a new gimmick. It's going to be a mix of the Incredible Hulk and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Because Kwee-Wee is going to get angry, and when he gets angry, he's going to turn into Angry Allen. Yes, that's a thing.
Can't wait.
Me neither. Next, you get Scott Steiner and Medeja. They're looking for Cat. He has a lead pipe. He uses the pipe to open the door, flips the couch. "Listen, you son of a bitch, I want a title shot tonight." Cat says, "Booker's not here." Steiner says, "I don't care, sign the match." And he says, "You know what? Booker has a pipe match with me in the back of the building tonight." So Steiner just went ahead and booked that. Okay. We see Nash arriving to the arena, and the Broad is with MIA. "We will declare war on Canada." Major Guns is facing Miss Hancock tonight in a hardcore match. Guessing that one won't live up to the expected billing. We get Lance Storm versus Lieutenant Loco for the Cruiserweight title. The hardcore title has been upgraded to the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title. Madden says, so much for using the initials on that one. Saskatchewan. Hardcore.
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, I got it.
Storm says WCW means World Canadian Wrestling. Storm wins. He now has 3 titles. Hat trick.
Good for him.
Absolutely. Nash comes out. Nash tells Storm to leave. Storm's like, no. Bows up to Nash. Nash hits a big boot. Then we cut to break. So Nash probably just stood in the ring for 3 minutes. Doing fuck all. I don't know. Nash says, pro wrestling, when 2 guys exchange words, they say they work themselves into a shoot. I watched the comments Goldberg made about me. I've been doing this for about 12 years. The only one time I wasn't a pro in this ring, there was a Canadian guy in the WWF, decided it wasn't my night, and we were in Montreal, his hometown. And in Quebec the next night, I beat his ass. Do you know who that is? I had to look it up, because I didn't know.
Probably Brett.
Nope. Brett's not from Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. In the WWF, Montreal at that time. Oh, fuck. I feel like I know the answer to this as well, and it's bothering me. Who is it?
PCO.
It was. Yep, that's right. PCO didn't want to lose in his own fucking hometown.
Mm-hmm.
It was when he was... I think at that time he was probably Jean-Pierre Lafette, which was the fucking pirate-looking guy, too.
Yes, you are correct.
That's funny.
Nash starts talking shit on football players because Goldberg used to be one. He said, I can't guarantee I'm going to be real professional. Commentary is just gushing about this, trying to put this over as just like a true shoot. Nash says, when you go to spear me, one of these old knees of mine might break your nose and shove it into your brain. And he goes, oh, and by the way, I'm not stopping on my quest to get Scott Hall back. Then Steiner's music hits. It's going to be Steiner versus Nash versus Goldberg at New Blood Rising. Steiner says the only reason I'm not going to stick that pipe up Nash's ass is because we're both from Detroit. But we aren't waiting until New Blood Rising, you piece of shit. And then it's a brawl and a pull apart. Nash is with the Cat. Nash says he wants Steiner tonight. Cat gives Nash a straitjacket and says, have a straitjacket match. Sure. Mm-hmm. Next you get Jeff Jarrett versus Sting. Jarrett hits a Hogan-esque chair shot after the ref gets hit in the dick. That gets a 2 count. Sting reverses a suplex into a death drop on the chair for the win. Next, you get Palumbo and Stasiak, a.k.a. The Perfect Event, versus Chronic, versus Muta and Vampiro, versus O'Hare and Jindrak for the tag titles. Jindrak and Bryan Adams get the pin at the same time. So everybody's putting over that O'Hare and Jindrak just won the tag titles, but Chronic's music hits, and it's announced that Chronic retains. And then Muta hits the mist on Chronic. Cat's with Shane Douglas and Tori. Cat crumples up a piece of paper and just throws it at Tori. I thought that was amazing. And then the Cat books Billy Kidman and Shane Douglas in a Viagra on a pole match. And the Cat just starts laughing his ass off. Booker's in the back, asks Sting, hey man, you still want that title match tonight? Sting says yeah. Next you get Douglas versus Kidman in a Viagra on a pole match. On Thunder, Douglas went to show a sex tape of him and Tori to kind of even out. I guess that would be evening out. It doesn't make sense. The worst part, though, is he showed the wrong part of the tape, and that's the part where he had limp dick. You know, it would really help if WCW didn't assume everybody watched Thunder. Give us a heads up before. Let's not find out, like, during the segment. Tell us before the segment.
If you're going to show a sex tape, do it on Nitro. Come
yeah,
on.
Exactly.
Have some class.
And then Shivani with the light of the night, because you would assume that if you get the Viagra off the pole, you win. No. Shivani says it's to use it as a weapon. Kidman...
But do you still take the pill to use it as a weapon?
Pills are good. Pills are good. So Kidman gets it right in view of the referee. Tori causes a distraction. Shane Douglas hits his finisher. Pills go everywhere. The bottle broke. It cut Douglas's back up. The ref sees Douglas with the broken bottle, and he wins, I guess. And then Tori starts shoving Viagra in Kidman's mouth. From what the story is, shouldn't Douglas be using the Viagra?
Either way, everyone was harder than Chinese algebra.
Yeah. Where is that music coming from? Next, you get Miss Hancock versus Major Guns in a hardcore match. Not that kind, unfortunately. Not going to lie, I had a piece of cheesecake while I watched this masterpiece. Then, they cut to the ring. And for reasons, David Flair and Sergeant AWOL are in the ring. If you're not familiar with who AWOL is, or Sergeant AWOL, it's the Wall. And he's apparently with MIA now and has a thing for Major Guns. The Broads end up in the ring. Major Guns sort of goes through a table in the corner. Tori hits a slam and gets the pin. Then, in the moment of the night, we see Billy Kidman with 3 of the Nitro Girls, because they can see he has a massive erection from all the Viagra that was shoved down his throat. And instead of being mortified, they all want a piece. So they all leave together.
I mean, if the Rod's there.
Yeah, I don't think that's how women think. I think they're probably going to call the cops if they see you walking around with a rager just poking out.
We hang with different kind of women.
Yeah, tell me to stay away from Richland. Next,
I know a girl blow you and 3 of your friends.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. At the same time. Next, you get Scott Steiner versus Kevin Nash. Medeja comes in. Nash powerbombs her. Then Rick Steiner interferes. Nash goes to powerbomb Rick, but Scott hits Nash with the chair. Locks in the Steiner recliner, which allows Rick Steiner to put on the straitjacket. Hooray. All right. Sting versus Booker T for the world title. Sting ends up on the floor, and he randomly gets dragged under the ring. As usual, commentary has no fucking clue. Sting ends up coming back out from under the ring. He's been busted open. Booker reverses a death drop into a bookend and retains. And then it's the Demon. The Demon comes out from under the ring, brawls with Sting. Then Vampiro and Muta come down. They're apparently called the Freaks in Paint now. Then Jeff Jarrett comes through the crowd and attacks Booker. Then a rope falls from the rafters. Jarrett ties it to Booker's ankle. The Demon gets a flaming sword and puts Sting into the Demon's coffin. Demon blows the fire onto the coffin as Booker is hanging by his ankle. And then Jarrett hits Booker's knee with the guitar. Shivani closes by saying, "Fans, we're out of time. This is madness." You think?
Madness is the wrong word.
Yeah.
It's like a fucked up version of Game of Thrones.
It's just fucked up.
Oh, God. It's just getting better and better. I think. Or worse. I can't tell. It's all the same now.
Yeah.
Blending. But you know what isn't always bad? The hottest pay-per-view of the summer. Let's talk about our top topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for...
Best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. Hold 2, arm bar.
Sodas rule. Yeah, they do.
Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family gradunzel.
It's me, Austin.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
I did it for The Rock.
This week's top topic.
You know something, Mean Gene? John C.
Wrestling's not fake.
The Rolex wearing what? Diamond ring wearing what? Kid stealing, woo! Wheeling dealing, what? Limousine riding, what? Jet flying, what? Son of a gun, woo!
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
If you smell.
The following ranking order and final decisions are a completely bias-based order, based off The Professor and ODM made it. And as always, they like to let you know they have not worked in the business, but have been lifelong invested fans, much like you, our listeners. With not only their opinions involved, but with countless amount of hours of research done each week, they make sure to provide proper facts and history to back it up. However, they do know that your opinion may vary from theirs. If there is anything you want to chat about, bring to their attention. If there is something they missed or forgot, or you just want to let them know they are out of their freaking minds, feel free to shoot them a message on Facebook or Twitter, or email them at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com. As always, they do appreciate all feedback and continued support. At the end of the day, they want to make sure that you do see the best of the best before you die. And now, this week's top topic.
Yeah, I said earlier that it's the 38th annual this year for SummerSlam. So we're going to talk about 37 SummerSlams. But no, ODM, not the way you think. I'm not going to go match for match. I just want to talk about some of the highlights, some notable moments from each and every SummerSlam, starting off with the first one. SummerSlam 1988, which was in Madison Square Garden. This is where Honky Tonk Man was looking for a challenger, and out comes Ultimate Warrior to dethrone him for the Intercontinental Championship, and ending a very historic reign. And this is also where Liz decided to help flash the Mega Bucks, which was Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant, so that the Mega Powers could win. And then we also had Jesse Ventura as the special ref for this match. Following year, well, they followed up with, in 1989, another tag team match that was going to headline the show. This was Hogan and Brutus Beefcake versus Randy Savage and Zeus. But I'll be honest, man, there was a lot of good matches on this entire pay-per-view. Solid opener was Brainbusters and Heart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The Busters just won the tag team titles, I think, like a week or two before. And for some reason, they didn't put them on the line in this match. I don't know why they did that. Not that you needed it to be, but it was just that little extra anyway, especially considering the Busters ended up winning the match. Whatever. Ultimate Warrior regained his Intercontinental Championship from Rick Rude. And then also we had some payoff matches. Tito Santana and Rick Martel were both on kind of lead captains in six-man teams with the Rockers and Fabulous Rougeos. Again, some payoffs with some of the things that had gone on earlier in 1989. 1990. This is the first SummerSlam that I personally we got in my my parents' house. First one we ever got, and this one was interesting. You had Kerry Von Erich replacing Brutus Beefcake because Brutus, got his face smashed in. So Texas Tornado is the one that steps up and beats Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental Championship in less than 5 minutes. Came in like a tornado. Boom. They did have a classic 2 out of 3 falls tag team title match with the Heart Foundation and Demolition. The only downfall is Axe was injured at that time, so Crush was the one that was in there for Demolition, but still a good 2 out of 3 falls match, and Axe gets involved at some point. Sapphire ends up no-showing her match against Sensational Sherry, and she ends up joining Ted DiBiase and his $1 million crew, if you will, which is really upsetting to Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was announced right before the pay-per-view that Big Boss Man was going to be taking the place of Tugboat. He backed up Hulk Hogan against Earthquake and Dino Bravo. And then they had a very unsatisfying steel cage match between Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior. I like a title match, closing a show, but this is one of the times I'm like, Hogan and Earthquake probably could have just closed that show right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
91, they brought it back to Madison Square Garden. This is where Brett wins the Intercontinental Championship. Virgil wins the $1 million championship.
Yep.
And LOD defeat the Nasty Boys in a street fight for the tag team championship. Also in this show, this is where Big Boss Man defeated the Mountie, and they had all the jail scenes where Mountie was in jail. And my favorite is a guy walks up in a leather coat and he goes, "Don't you like the way leather feels against your body?" And Mountie goes, "Get me out of here!" Oh, it was so fucking good. That shit was hysterical. And then this is the infamous one where Warrior demanded a shitload of money from McMahon, and he goes, "Fine, you have it." And then after the match is over, he's like, "Fuck you, you're fired."
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah.
Hey, sometimes I can back up McMahon. I thought that was a really good strategy. Yeah, let's get this pay-per-view underway, and we'll talk. We'll be fine.
Well, the best part, too, isn't it the end of the match is Warrior chasing somebody up the ramp into Gorilla.
Yep. Yeah.
He
wasn't even there at the end of the match, really.
Where Vince is waiting for him to say, "You're fired. Get the fuck out of here."
Hogan hadn't even won the fucking match yet at that point. That's what's even better. He got fired before that. That's awesome.
How you can get fired on your day off?
1992, they brought it back to Wembley, and Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel had a match where, because they both were, working with Sherry at the time, but both were pretty boys, and there was a rule you couldn't hit each other in the face, which is kind of funny for their gimmicks. They had the double main event where you had British Bulldog defeating Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship in what was the main event. But also you had Ultimate Warrior defeating Randy Savage, who was the world champion at the time. He would defeat him by countout. Pretty good show. Other than that, not a whole lot of great moments that happened in SummerSlam 92. 93, I think they kind of, followed up the same way they did in 92. They put all their eggs in one basket because it was Lex Luger and the Lex Express, and it was all U.S. based, only for Luger to win by countout, and the Steiner brothers lifted him up like he completely slayed Yokozuna in a squash match and won the world championship. No, just a countout.
None of that.
Ted DiBiase had his final match against Razor Ramon. Bret Hart was supposed to take on Jerry Lawler. Lawler comes out on some crutches and says, "My replacement is Doink." And he has a 20-minute match against Doink, only for Lawler to hit him with a crutch. And then Bret takes on Lawler for another 20 minutes. But the problem is Bret won the match with a sharpshooter, but wouldn't let it go. Kept it on for 10 minutes, and every ref tried to pull on him. And they gave the match to Jerry Lawler because Bret wouldn't give up the sharpshooter, so Lawler ended up winning the match. As a Bret Hart fan, that pissed me off so fucking much. I was so mad about that. I'm like, Lawler, you fucking prick. Even at 10, I was pissed. Ludwig Borga was on here. He killed Marty Jannetty pretty bad. And it was the final appearance, thank God, at least pay-per-view-wise, of Giant Gonzalez against Undertaker in a Rest in Peace match. Thank God that feud was over. 1994. This was pretty notable for several things. I do always believe that the wrong match closed. For some reason, they thought Undertaker versus Undertaker would be the best main event possible. But Owen and Bret tore it down with the cage match and even went a little too long, which pissed off old Mark Calloway. But also on this night, Razor Ramon wins his Intercontinental Championship back from Diesel, who he won it from in Rochester. Was actually there for that. And he had Walter Payton in his corner, Razor. And on this night, it was Tatanka always pointing the finger at Lex Luger, saying, "You're going to join the $1 Million Corp. You're going to join him." And in turn, Tatanka was the one that joined. Nice little swerve. It was nice for a SummerSlam move. 1995, quite possibly the worst SummerSlam of all time. They had a ladder match that they tried to roll it back from the year before between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Rolling it back couldn't even help this pay-per-view. This was headlined by Diesel against King Mabel. You had Bret Hart against Isaac Yankem. Bertha Faye versus Alundra Blaze. So, you know what I mean? This isn't exactly your most stellar pay-per-view that WWE had put on, at least at that time. 1996. It's the first SummerSlam that we watched, a part of our Monday Night Wars. And this one had the very notable Boiler Room Brawl between Undertaker and Mankind, where Paul Bearer turns on The Undertaker, which was pretty big at that time. Lawler faces Jake Roberts and starts pouring Jack Daniels down his mouth as he's a recovering alcoholic. Go Vince McMahon, and awesome storytelling. And this is also the night that Shawn Michaels made poor Leon cry.
That was
beating
a shit
Vader
show
in the World Championship match. Oh yeah, very big shit show. SummerSlam 97. One of my personal favorites, only because I was a very big fan of that era. I've said many times, the Hart Foundation era, Canada versus US. And this is where Dude Love jumped off the top of the cage. Even though he was Mankind in the match, he took off his mask and opened up his shirt, sweated off most of the heart, but was being Dude Love and jumped on Hunter off the cage. Big moment. Pillman lost to Goldust, had to wear a dress. This was the infamous pile driver. Owen Hart nearly killing Steve Austin. Worst pin of all time, but
no
he
doubt.
At least ate the pin. He was supposed to. And Shawn Michaels hawks a loogie in Bret Hart's face, in Bret Hart's face, only for him to swing a chair at him. Michaels ducks, and Undertaker gets hit right in the head. and Bret Hart wins his 5th and final WWE Championship.
Great moment.
And I think British Bulldog went into some dog poo.
Sounds about right.
98. Brought it back to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Worst fucking promo of all time. And this was a good one, man. We had the Lion's Den match with Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart. That was one that was like basically a UFC cage right in Madison Square Garden. He had the great ladder match with Triple H and The Rock, where Triple H became Intercontinental Champion. X-Pac won the hair versus hair match against Jeff Jarrett. And, of course, in the main event, Steve Austin retains his World Championship against The Undertaker. Solid pay-per-view, I thought, actually. 1998, I think, was one of the very first times it was really decent overall, and they delivered compared to some of the other past SummerSlams. In 1999, they rolled it back again to have Jesse Ventura as your special referee, and this is where Mankind defeated Steve Austin and Triple H in a triple threat match. We got the Lion's Den number 2 with Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman this time. We had Jeff Jarrett and D'Lo Brown have a match where it was Intercontinental versus European, and Jeff Jarrett became double champion. And it was the beginning and the end of Billy Gunn, basically, because this is where he won the King of the Ring months before, has a Kiss My Ass match against The Rock, and that was pretty much the end of Billy Gunn. SummerSlam 2000, which is something we're going to be going over really, really soon in the Monday Night Wars, but I'll at least kind of keep it somewhat quick. We get Jericho versus Benoit. There's a moment where Kane gets unmasked, but one of the most important parts, well, besides TLC number 1, one of the most important parts is where Kurt Angle gets concussed in the middle of the main event and still has to shoot a quick little storyline moment with Stephanie towards the end of the show. SummerSlam 2001, it was the ongoing invasion angle with WCW and ECW, the Alliance versus WWF. And in this night where we had The Rock defeat Booker T for the World Championship, Angle and Steve Austin had a match that went to a DQ. But Jeff Hardy and RVD completely stole the show in a ladder match for the Hardcore Championship. Say what you will about the invasion angle, but I think that they did deliver on some of these shows altogether and did at least showcase some great talent. SummerSlam 2002, I think absolutely one of the best ones in a very, very long time from top to bottom. So you opened up with Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio in a solid match. You had Edge versus Eddie Guerrero. Shawn Michaels had his first match back in 4 years, and it was an unsanctioned match against Triple H. And you also had Brock Lesnar defeating The Rock for his first ever WWF Championship. It was old versus new. You had, a lot of matches where it was, on Ric Flair versus Chris Jericho. Obviously the Lesnar and Rock. It was kind of mixing in some of the newer guys with the older guys. SummerSlam 2003, unfortunately, was probably more of a phoned-in show. Not a whole lot to write home about this one. They did have the Elimination Chamber where in the main event, Triple H did retain against Shawn Michaels, Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and Kevin Nash. Match of the night, of course, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar had a match for the WWF Championship. It was definitely the one that did deliver. Outside of that, I would say the rest of the show was kind of phoned in, as I originally said. SummerSlam 2004, the main event was Chris Benoit defending the World Championship against a very young Randy Orton, and Orton wins his first championship. You also had Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero on this card, and in a very surprising move from the Canadian crowd, it was Chris Jericho versus Batista versus Edge, and the hometown guy, Edge, was booed right out of Canada. SummerSlam 2005. This is the one that we kind of briefly talked about last week when we talked about Hulk Hogan. This is the one where Hogan said, I'm only going to have one match against Shawn Michaels, not 3 as we originally planned. And Shawn Michaels flopped like a dead fish all over the place for every move that Hogan gave to him. Batista and JBL did have a really good street fight, surprisingly. I was a very, very big fan of Edge versus Matt Hardy. This happened with a referee stoppage because they made it look all too real, and I still to this date am not sure if Matt Hardy got concussed during that match. But the funniest one is Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, and here we are 20 years later. It's ladder match for the custody of Dominic, and this is the one where Vicky Guerrero was supposed to come down and get involved, and you hear Eddie scream, "Where the fuck is Vicky?" Because she was not on time with her cue. SummerSlam 2006, overall, to be honest with you, a very, very meh show overall. Headlined by Edge defeating John Cena, retaining the World Championship. They were in their prime PG era. This is, Triple H and Shawn Michaels taking on the McMahons in their poo-poo fart era. Not exactly one of the better SummerSlams. Hogan also took on Randy Orton. In SummerSlam 2007, Rey Mysterio, he made his return wearing some silver body paint. Triple H had been gone for quite some time with his second quad tear and made his comeback. And unfortunately in the main event, WWE pissed off everybody by having Randy Orton fall short to John Cena, and Cena retained his championship, which at that point, he was booed to shreds, and they just kept it going. But it was funny because a couple months later is when Cena got injured, and they ended up putting the title right on Orton. Everybody was happy with it. SummerSlam 2008. This is the one that it was Cena versus Batista for the first time ever, and as Cena came down off the top rope with a Batista bomb, Cena fell right on the back of his head and had a neck injury. The main event was pretty good. This was Undertaker and Edge in the Hell in a Cell. The rest of the card was just probably meh at best. A lot of these were kind of phoned in through a lot of these pay-per-views, unfortunately. During
which is weird because that main event is iconic.
Yes, absolutely. SummerSlam 2009, headlined by... Well, let me say this, actually. It was a solid show. The final 4 matches were all great. The show opened with Rey Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship, but the final 4 matches, DX versus Legacy, which is Cody and Ted DiBiase, Christian versus William Regal for the ECW title, Orton versus Cena for the WWE Championship, and in a TLC match for the world title, CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy, in what was Jeff Hardy's final pay-per-view match in WWF at that time, or WWE, as he was going to be written off TV that following SmackDown. SummerSlam 2010, the one that pissed everybody off. It was a night that an entire stable could have really went strong. We're talking about the Nexus. And John Cena killed the last 4 wrestlers on his own as everybody else was taken out. Show versus Straight Edge Society was actually kind of fun because this is when Punk had his head shaved and he was feuding with Big Show. But the whole show is completely built around the main event, who was going to take the spot for Team WWE. And it was Daniel Bryan, the guy who was fired for choking out Justin Roberts on TV. Still think it was a solid move. SummerSlam 2011. Both World Championship matches definitely delivered. Randy Orton and Christian had a solid feud in that year. That was a no-holds-barred championship win for Randy Orton. And this is the one where it was title for title. Punk came back. Cena had the title. Punk had a title. Punk wins. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kevin Nash comes back into the mix and powerbombs Punk to help him, or to help Del Rio cash in and close SummerSlam in a very pissed off way, for me at least.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a good alliance right there.
Yeah, well, it was some Triple H shit, and still Vince. SummerSlam 2012, Punk vs. Cena vs. Show was way better than expected. This is where Punk retained while still being world champion during this time. And the main event was actually pretty decent with Brock Lesnar and Triple H in a no DQ match. SummerSlam 2013. Total surprise win for Daniel Bryan. I, for some reason, thought they were going to pull something where he wasn't going to beat John Cena, and he beat John Cena clean as hell and won the world championship for 5 seconds, and then Randy Orton cashed in on him.
Mm-hmm.
There was some WWE shit for you. But Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, a phenomenal match. It was a no DQ match. I think one of Lesnar's best matches ever since coming back to WWE. They also had a good payoff match with Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. This was also Bray Wyatt's pay-per-view debut. SummerSlam 2014. This is where Lesnar squashed the living shit out of John Cena in like 10 minutes or less. Greatest. I'll watch that match anytime. It's so good. 10 minutes and you had to watch 26 suplexes, but still. Ziggler and The Miz had a great opening match, and this is where Stephanie got help from Nikki Bella against Brie Bella. And this is where the next night Nikki Bella goes, "I wish you died in the womb."
Sick burn.
Yeah. And this was also the push of Roman Reigns. He defeated Randy Orton on this show, and you just knew he was going to be a world champ coming up at some point. They were pushing the living shit out of Roman Reigns. Wasn't a fan of SummerSlam 2015's card layout. They let Undertaker and Brock Lesnar close out the show. Okay, fine. It's kind of a follow-up because Lesnar beat the streak. But did we really need to close the show this way? I don't know. But it was also up against Seth Rollins and John Cena, who were fighting for both the U.S. and WWE Championship. Problem is, this is where Jon Stewart got involved for some weird fucking reason.
I do remember that more so because I was watching The Daily Show at the time, pretty regularly, and I wasn't really back into wrestling that much yet. And I remember Stewart doing a segment on The Daily Show, and Rollins came in behind him and started fucking with him. It was that was good. That was good. The match,
exactly. And we also had Stephen Amell on this show in a tag match with Cody Rhodes. But also, this is where we had a debut of a lot of women in for WWE pay-per-views. You had Charlotte, Becky, Tamina, Sasha Banks. A lot of them hadn't been, or maybe Tamina had at this point, but a lot of them hadn't been really on the WWE roster, and they all came up from NXT. Basically, everybody but Bayley. And this is their first big pay-per-view coming out party, if you will. SummerSlam 2016, I think it was solid. Probably one of the better ones that they had in a while. Nikki Bella, it was her first match back from neck injury. This is the night that Finn Balor won the Universal Championship and then gave it up the very next night. And this is also where Brock Lesnar busted open Randy Orton the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
And made Jericho pick a fight with Brock Lesnar and Gorilla.
This is, I believe, the first SummerSlam I watched since getting back into wrestling.
I actually thought about that when I was putting this together. I was like, it's probably right when you got back in. SummerSlam 2017. It was kind of a letdown in many, many ways. The pre-show had a good banger between New Day and the Usos. This was also where it was the Bar versus the Shield, and Claudio was so pissed off with the beach ball, he ran out, grabbed it, and fucking tore it apart in the middle of the match. I thought that was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, classic.
They had Jinder Mahal retain the WWE title against Shinsuke. This entire year was wrapped around Shinsuke. He won the Rumble, lost at WrestleMania. Could have won right here and still didn't. It was so many fucking moments, and they just did not fucking capitalize for Shinsuke.
They had to push that Indian demographic,
Yeah, hell yeah. And then it was a decent main event. This is where Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. The following year, 2018, I remember this one. I watched it in the Badlands because I remember it was like storming out, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch this whole show. The crowd lost their mind when Becky turned heel because she turned on Charlotte, and the crowd was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we love that. And that was the first time people were actually behind Becky, and that's right before the man and all that stuff.
Right.
Ronda Rousey won her first world championship, defeating Alexa Bliss. And the opener was actually really good with Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. This is also the year that they had their Iron Man match, I think like a month or two after this. So they were actually having some pretty decent Intercontinental Championship matches. SummerSlam 2019 was in Toronto. Charlotte Flair and Trish Stratus delivered. Trish was wrestling in there like she hadn't taken any time off. And that was her first big match back. Poor Dolph Ziggler had to die because of Bill Goldberg had to come in and do a quick little spear.
Fuck Bill Goldberg.
Yup. But this was the debut of The Fiend against Finn Balor. This is where he came out with the lantern that had his face and his mouth was the light itself. One of the coolest fucking debuts ever. And that was from months of, we're really glad that you're our friends. I was playing 2K the other day and that song came out and my wife goes, what the fuck? And I go, yeah, it's Bray Wyatt. Sorry.
It was a thing.
Like it was when he was doing his Pee-wee Playhouse. 2020, unfortunately, was the Thunderdome COVID era. Biggest thing was Roman returned with his new teeth. And Dirty Dom actually had a very good showing against Seth Rollins. Seth beat the living piss out of him in a street fight, but he showed he could hang in there. And actually was one of the first times they go, all right, he's not bad. He's all right. And Asuka wrestled twice. She tried to win the World Championship for Bayley, the SmackDown Championship. Failed, but then defeated Sasha Banks to at least win the Raw Women's Championship. We were really spreading thin during the middle of this pandemic era. 2021. This one I remember because this is a part of the weekend that was in August, because that's when Punk returned and everything. It was a huge, huge weekend. And in this pay-per-view, Lesnar returned at the end of the show after Roman defeated John Cena. Becky Lynch made a return and won on the spot, basically becoming Becky Hogan right there.
Yep.
And a solid match between Damian Priest and Sheamus for the U.S. Championship. It was Damian Priest's very first singles championship in WWE. So they were putting stock back into Damian all the way back then. So I like that. In 2022, this is Roman and Brock. This is where Brock comes in on that tractor, throws the mic at Roman, and he just catches it by his side, which is still to this date one of the smoothest things I've ever seen in my life.
Fuck yeah.
Brock uses the tractor, lifting the whole fucking ring in the air. And surprisingly, the only other match on this entire show, I mean, you had Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin, Logan Paul, The Miz. A lot of things were just, But the Usos and Street Profits. The Street Profits were like, we're going to show you guys we still belong here. And they put on a real good show, and the Usos retained. They were still going through a very long, lengthy reign at that time as tag champs. SummerSlam 2023. Oh, man. This was an interesting one. This is where Cody and Brock Lesnar had their final payoff match, and Lesnar raised the hand of Cody. Horrible MMA women's fight between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. It was like,
had such high hopes for it.
You could have made something good. Oh, it was the worst. You had the tribal combat between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Had moments where Jey looked like he could have won the championship. Obviously, he definitely wasn't going to. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. And then Seth Rollins and Finn Balor rolled it back 7 years because of their first Universal title match where he got injured. And this is where Balor came out and had 7 years written on his arm, right on his bicep. Solid. And then one final one, man. It was last year. SummerSlam 2024. Punk's very first singles match back. It's against Drew McIntyre. Everything is all about a fucking bracelet. And Seth Rollins is a special referee. And it was so fucking good. I loved it. Gunther won the world title from Damian Priest. Braun Breaker won the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn. LA Knight won the U.S. title from Logan Paul. And Nia Jax won the Women's Championship from Bayley. A lot of title changes that night. And then the main event was Bloodline Rules. Cody defeated Solo Sikoa. And we were all just waiting for Rock or anybody to show up, and no one did.
Nothing
happened. But I will tell you, man, that Drew McIntyre Punk match, over a fucking bracelet was more important than anything else that went on last year.
Yeah, 100%. Banger of a match,
I'm
too.
excited. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Hell in a Cell was ridiculous. But Drew landing on those steps is just still unbelievable. But what match is going to be the notable one to talk about next year? Because this Sunday, we got a 2-night SummerSlam extravaganza. Hoping Punk wins the championship. That's just me because I'm a punker.
And a mark.
Mark for the Punk. But we'll be back next week, and when we are, we're going to be diving into that Jay and Silent Bob universe, what we talked about before. Finger cuffs. Yeah. Still the best ending to the show ever. I fucking... All right, but we're going to be back next week. I'm the Professor. I bid you farewell. He's ODM. He has final thoughts for you. Maybe they're about SummerSlam. Maybe they're personal thoughts. Who knows? Let's find out.
Thanks, Professor, for putting together a 20-page document for the top topic. Actually, it wasn't too bad. You did a good job. You powered right through it, so I got to give you props for that. No bullshit. I just want to let you know, when we're done with the podcast, remember to call Shepany.
The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor, Mark Fantasia, and ODM, The Doc, Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
And then I'm like, what if?
What if? Bro, what if?
The show that never made it to air. We should have vaulted it.
What a shit show. I don't even remember what you were trying to predict.
It was Sammy and Roman.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was trying to find any fucking
That Sammy would win the title.
possible reason. Because I was like, but wait, what if? And like Jay came, I go, oh my God, what if? We should have vaulted that fucking shit.
Did we not have it somewhere?
Myself.
Oh, did you delete it?
We didn't save it.
Oh.
We were like, I don't think the public should hear this shit. How about we say we watched it together and that was our show together? That
you
was,
go.
Yeah. I was in the Airbnb and the bourbon was flowing like wine.
Happens sometimes.